great Braylon Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
All right, man. Mr. Bates! Yeah! Where's Bates at? Get up here, Bates. Give the man his ball. Give the man his ball. Give the man his ball.
Hey, how about the offense getting us in position, man? With like a minute and a half left, getting down there, man. We trust you guys with everything. And then field goal line, man. I know that's like the worst job in the world. I really appreciate you guys. And then Hogan and Jack, man.
He won his stats. He won the game. All right, I got one. Offense, 15 rushes, 116 yards. All right, 4 receptions, 44 yards. Got us down there, 160 all-purpose yards. Let's go, Jaw. Get up here, man.
You know, I couldn't do any of this without y'all. You know, coaches, you know, players, you know, the whole organization. But yeah, like we say, only team that can beat us is ourselves. So let's take every game week by week. You know, I love y'all. So.
Stay with me on offense. 8 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Mr. St. Brown, let's go.
Love y'all, man.
All right, hey, last one on defense, man. 4 tackles, 1 interception, 2 pass breakup. Really had a punch up for a touchdown. All right, BB, come back up here.
Love y'all.
Hey, listen, man, to say that I'm proud of you would be the massive understatement. That's the way to come in here. Everything we talked about from the time we got to halftime to the way we had to finish it out, man. Composure, right? Communication, attitude, patience. My God, man, you guys didn't bat an eye. I love this freaking team. I love the coaches. I love the players. I love everything about it, man. We are so freaking hardened. Even when doesn't go the way we want it to, man, you find a way. That is an outstanding win. We are 1-0 in the division, gentlemen. That's 1. Break it down.
Hey, bring it in. Hey, big boy win there. Division win on the road. Keep it going. Win on 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Hey, let's go. Monday show, October 21st, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Mass, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Coming up on 70,000 subscribers on this platform. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Boy, oh boy, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, it is definitely a good afternoon on this Monday. Tremendous game by them yesterday. Just happy to be here with you guys, man. Been riding this high, and let's rock and roll, man. Tom Masley, how you feeling?
I'm great, man. Gorgeous, man. Look at the weather out there. Our team won. Mets lost. All right, they gave it their best. And it's Yankees, Dodgers in the World Series. Let's go.
Let's go is right. And guys, obviously, we'll start with the Detroit Lions. You see the attitude, the emotion in that locker room from Dan Campbell. That is one that they wanted. That is one that they got. Braylon Edwards, they spotted Minnesota 10 points right off the bat. They came back. Then they fumble. Touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota has the lead. And then you come down and, oh, yeah, Jake Bates, no problems, right down the center of the uprights. And here you go. The Lions go to Minnesota and beat a previously unbeaten Vikings team. They are first place in the NFC North. They are first place in the NFC, top seed in the conference. And they are what clearly looks to be the best team in football.
Hey, if you take away the Kansas City Chiefs game that the Lions won last year, opening game, this is probably the best win that the Detroit Lions have had under this regime, not including playoffs. And the reason why I say that is they went against a team that was number 1 in the conference, number 1 in the division. They had to face adversity on the road. Tom Masley, Skull is a tough place to play. U.S. Bank Stadium is an amazing place to play, and it's featuring a 5-0 team. No Aiden Hutchinson, no problem. At every turn, and we'll get into it. I don't want to dive too much into it, but it just seemed like at every turn, the Detroit Lions would not let it go. It seemed like they were destined and determined to win, and they got the win. David Montgomery goes down, no problem. Jameer Gibbs stepped it up in a major way, receiving the game ball. Aiden Hutchinson out, no problem. Brian Brent steps up on third down. Malcolm Rodriguez steps up time and time again in that game. There was always somebody rising to the occasion. You mentioned Jake Bates, the guy that we saw win in the USFL, and we got excited, or the UFL, excuse me. And there he was, perfect on the day as well. The Lions as a team, as a coaching staff, there were a lot of things that could have went wrong in this game and did go wrong, But the thing that they did not stop. They understood who they were. And when the second said 0-0-0, the better team won this game.
I was watching that game yesterday. I was locked in. I was very down in the first quarter. I was. Gave up the 10. They went on fourth down, the fake field goal, the fake punt. They had it nailed. Minnesota knew it was going to happen. They got it. And then they stop them on first down. And then they let Aaron Jones go unmolested around the left side. No one got him. I know Terry and Arnold was supposed to be the guy there, but that would have been a one-on-one. Aaron probably would have beat him anyway. But they're up 10-0. And I'm like, damn it. My daughter, Abby's here from Grand Valley. We're watching the game together. And I'm like, man, I don't know, Abs. I don't know. And then they come down and they put 21 straight on the board. From that moment, I knew they were going to win that game, even after David Montgomery fumbled that ball. And that was a hell of a play by the Minnesota defense.
Metellus, Michigan
44,
guy.
right? Popped it right out of there. Touchdown. Minnesota takes their first lead since the first quarter. But I knew the Lions were going to come down and score. But I really thought they were going to get a touchdown. I did not think that they were going to settle for a 44-yard field goal, which ain't a gimme. 44 yards is not a gimme. They kneel down 2 straight plays. I truly believe had they thrown the ball, it would have been a touchdown. But they probably didn't want to give Minnesota a chance to go back down and try to score. I'll take the field goal. I'll take the win. The referee tried to give Minnesota an extra play, which he did. I thought, okay, here we go. They're going to steal another one from us. But it didn't happen. And they won the game. Do you know I didn't watch the second game after that? I didn't watch the Chiefs 49ers game.
Loosely, I watched it.
Very, very loosely.
Right, yeah,
I was
same.
outside. I was done. I was done. Because that game took a lot out of me. It did.
You didn't miss much in that game, Tom Mazaway. Not at all. One thing, Ryan, and I know you have a plan, and I want to stick to that plan.
You're good, dude.
But yesterday, you saw the leadership of Jared Goff. Like yesterday, you saw leadership in Jared Goff. I feel like a lot of times we come on here and, we give him flowers, whether it's 18 of 18, et cetera, and we talk about what he's become and he's the guy. But a lot of times it's pretty easy in terms of what Ben Johnson allows him to do, in terms of what those running backs by committee allow him to do. The offensive line and how good is it. It's been the best offensive line in football for about the last 2.5 years. So a lot of times it's just him doing what comes easy. Sunday wasn't easy for Jared Goff, and it wasn't easy for that offense, but he found ways. He stepped up. He made plays. He took sacks. He protected the football, if you will. I think yesterday, more than any, number 16 stand up as a leader. Like, I was able to see it through the TV that this guy is leading this offense. This guy is leading this team. So much is being made about the quietness of Jared Goff. He's not a leader. He's not a rah-rah guy. Well, on yesterday, I beg to differ. I feel like in his own way, he was able to lead that squad, at least on the offensive side of the football.
We've been working long enough together where I think you knew exactly where I was going to start today because I was going to start with Jared Goff.
Sorry.
Because I think with this guy, I think it's great that he read my mind. It's absolutely great what this quarterback has done here in Detroit. And by now, I'm sure maybe you've seen the stat. This Lions offense has more touchdowns, 18 of them, over the last 4 weeks than incomplete passes.
Jeez.
Now, 16 incompletions is what the graphic says. That's what everybody says. I did my own counting on this. It's 15 incompletions from Jared Goff. I don't know where they get the 16th incompletion from.
We'll go with yours.
I think I'm going to go with mine because that's what my research has said.
Yeah.
15 incomplete passes, 18 touchdowns as an offense. Over the last 4 weeks, they are averaging 35 points a game.
Wow.
That is all Jared Goff.
Yes.
This quarterback has been perfect, and I use that word not loosely. He has absolutely been perfect. No turnovers. They score at will, seemingly. It has been incredible what this quarterback has been able to do. And afterwards, Terry Bradshaw said afterwards that this quarterback is playing like, he got some pushback from this, but he said this quarterback is playing like Tom Brady for the Patriots.
Wow.
Hey, not to cut you off, you mentioned Terry Bradshaw. Did you see now on Fox? I know you guys probably didn't watch, but they have the digital guy. So when the guy's not there, they imprint him digitally for the Fox analysts, the broadcast. It's Terry, Howie, it's Mike Strahan, the whole 9 yards. Well, they implemented Tom Brady, who wasn't there because he was calling the other game. Everybody was looking to the side. Terry was looking straight the whole time. Like, even though Tom's not in studio, you got to look to the left and act like Tom's there. Terry was off to the side. He was pissed. You can see like Howie Long telling him, Terry, look over here. He's like, it's about that time for Terry, man. They know it's time to move on.
It might be.
But he knows his quarterback stuff.
100%. He's one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, just talking about end of game Tom Brady, you knew if the ball was in his hands, he was going to win the game. And I think you're at the point now where if the ball is in Jared Goff's hands at the end of the game, you believe he's going to win that game. Whether he does or doesn't, you think he's going to.
Facts.
You believe he's going to, and I think that's Tom Brady-like. He is the MVP, and Patrick Mahomes is here, and all love Mahomes. He is.
Not playing well.
Patrick Mahomes has 8 interceptions and 6 touchdown passes this year. And by the way, they're still 6-0, so I think that's pretty darn good.
Amazing.
But Jared Goff is the MVP of the league so far through 7 weeks, 7 weeks of the season.
NFC for sure.
Jared Goff's the MVP right now.
Jared Goff's definitely your MVP. And Ryan, it goes back to what we were talking about at the opening of the show. It wasn't perfect yesterday. Usually we come up here, and that's one of my biggest issues when people who glaze Jared Goff so much. I'm like, it's so set up for him to have success. Yesterday it wasn't. There were holes by the offensive line. There were guys that got through. The offensive line didn't look as stout as they used to. You look at that left tackle yesterday, and this is like the first time. Taylor Decker, he looked hurt. Mm-hmm. He looked a little older. He looked like he was dealing with some residual damages of all the injuries that have piled up over the last 3-4 years. He looked like he was struggling out there. Brian Flores had his numbers with those stunts. It wasn't perfect, and that's why I'm coming on here giving Jared Goff that love, because you saw him have to step up in the pocket, move, adjust, get hit, step up, make it next play. You know, all right, cool. We got to forget about this last play. What's going to happen on this play? Yesterday, you really saw it wasn't perfect. It was not perfect for 16, but somehow or another, 16 made it happen. And like you said, I actually believe 16 will be the reason they win this game in the end. It wasn't 16 will have some connection because of 16 was the reason why they won that game.
Listen, they have the best offense in football, bar none. Bar none. Best football on offense. So Jared Goff is the pilot of that offense. And you've seen it, when the offensive line protects him, all he's got to do is move a little bit, he's going to complete the pass. These receivers do not drop the ball. I was surprised I didn't see much of J-Mo. So I think Minnesota kind of took J-Mo out of that, and then David Montgomery did not have his best day.
Can I stop you right there?
Please do.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
This is why this offense is the best in football.
Because you don't know who they're going to.
You did not see J-Mo at all. And you know what? Here's Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Here's 8 for 114 and a touchdown from Amon-Ra. You have no idea who is going to beat you this week. On any given week, you have no idea who's going to beat you. Yeah. As you said, Bray, David Montgomery goes up. Okay, no problem.
Jameer Gibbs.
Here's Jameer Gibbs. You have no idea who's going to beat you. Khalif Raymond had a game of the week.
Big catch by Laporta to get a big first down. I mean, everything worked for that offense. Everything. And Jack Fox, phenomenal punting yesterday. Phenomenal. Getting him inside. Yeah, Minnesota had a couple of big plays. Sam Darnold's pretty elusive back there. He's a pretty decent runner. But you know what? They got to him enough. I hear they had 15 quarterback pressures as a team. Last week or the week prior to that, Aiden Hutchinson had that by himself.
Yes, we'll get to that in a minute.
So they're going to have to look at that going forward. But they got away with this one. Now they're going to get a little bit of a, we're playing the Tennessee Titans. So it's going to be a tougher game this week, believe it or not. Because how do you get up for the Tennessee Titans? But they'll win. They'll do enough. And then you got Packers and Texans. Get ready, man.
As you brought this up, but Ryan, I want to ask you, where were you at with the misfake by the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell? Where were you at when and how it happened, the play, everything? Where were you at?
How do you feel about it?
The punt? I tweeted right at the time. I love it. It's who this team is. It's how they play. It's early enough in the game where you can come back from it.
I didn't care either.
I didn't care. Like, you do that in the fourth quarter, and it's a little hairy, maybe. I don't know, but it was early enough in the game. Dan Campbell, that's how they play. And I thought it was early enough where they could come back from it.
He trusts his team.
I tweeted it the minute it happened. Said, don't care. I loved it. Because, again, that's who they are. It's who they are as a football team.
He trusts his team.
I love that. I love it, and I feel lockstep with you. With that being said, moving forward, not always at the same time. That's all I would recommend from Dan Campbell. I don't mind you going for it early. I don't mind you going for it in your own field of play. but not exactly at the same time. Not the first, fourth down every time, because now I think the tendency was seen, and you saw that special teams, they played to that. They studied it up almost like they knew the exact play. Still be Dan Campbell, but now at the same time, don't always go for when they know you're going to go for it. That's all I have to say.
Have you noticed they played the Seahawks, and the Seahawks pulled the trick play on them?
Yep.
Now they play the Vikings. And did you notice they were going to throw to Sam Darnold? Did you see that?
Yep. The same exact play.
People are copycatting the Lions, but nobody could do it like the Lions.
I'm happy.
And Ben Johnson don't care. He put it out there. You want to copy it? Go right ahead.
I'm happy that Justin Jefferson kept trying to pass the ball because there was so much room to run, and he's an elusive runner. If he would have just ran, they would have been in trouble on that play. It would have been a busted play that had a big gain, if not a touchdown. But he was so determined to throw the ball and get those stats in that category that he blew it. He only got about a 2-yard gain. He really could have got at least 15. I'm glad he wanted to throw the ball.
Guys, one of the things I was surprised at was that, as you mentioned a moment ago, Maz, that Dan Campbell essentially played for the field goal, and not just any field goal, but played for such a long field goal.
44 yards.
It wasn't like some chip shot.
Yeah.
That was a long field goal. I was surprised by that. But Jake Bates.
They trust him.
Man, they do. And now he trusts him. If he didn't trust himself before, he probably has more confidence than anybody else on that team, man. That guy is lights out. He caught up with Danny Rogers from DetroitLions.com after the game. Here's what Jake Bates had to say to Danny Rogers.
44 yards separates this team from getting a win over the undefeated Vikings and the first division win of the season. How did you process stepping up to kick that ball through the uprights?
I think it's just doing your job. The offense did a really good job of getting us in field goal range, and then it's just trusting your training. I trust Hogan and Jack so much that, the snap in the hole is going to be so good. And, the Lord has blessed me with incredible people around me, my family, my friends that have helped me get to here. And it's not a single effort. There's so many people behind the scenes that don't get seen. But, I'm just so thankful to be a Lion and be a part of this team. And, the Lord has been really good to me. And I'm super happy to be where my feet are.
I felt good about it, and when you we've had 5 games with him, NFL games. And then, when you see him every day in practice and you give him the crowd noise and you move the spot and I'm yelling at him and you just applying pressure, and to watch him, he just continues to make these kicks. You feel pretty good when he gets thrust into it. And it's not the same, but yet it is. We just felt like his confidence has grown, and he would just go out there and it's just the next kick, and he did that. So really proud of him, man. Really proud of him.
At the end of the day, you know what it is, Ryan? Like when you get to this level, once you have some success, and once it happens twice, you know what it becomes. I can do this. This is nothing. It's the same level that I just came from. Had a DB when I played in Cleveland named Davin Hiley. Davin played for the Cleveland Guardians, who at the time or the Gladiators, were the Arena League down there in Cleveland. And when he got to the next level, he was a rookie. Went through some training camp, went through some practice. Once he got in the game, he had an interception, and he had an interception next week. And I said, how did you make that transition from Arena League, because this is me being naive, how'd you make the transition from Arena League to the NFL, and now you're making plays, and now we depend on you? He said, man, once I trusted myself, once I had some success, I knew that was anything different, so I started to approach it just like it was any other thing. And I think that's what you're seeing from Jake Bates. Jake Bates had success in the UFL, had success before that. And now that you got a little success in the NFL, he realized it's the same uprights, it's the same distance, it's the same ball. He's got to keep doing it.
And, after I heard him talking about these Bible verses and stuff, and I'm not trying to shove religion down anybody's throat. I'm not trying to do that at all.
I went to church yesterday. Watch out.
At all. But because I consider myself, just so you know, so I'm just putting it out there, a CEO. I'm Catholic. I go on church, Easter, and an occasional Sunday. Yeah. CEO. That's what we call it. All right?
Not mad at it.
Our Christmas, Easter, and an occasional Sunday. It just is what it is. Whatever. But he, talks about these Bible verses that he reads and, all this stuff. And so we are freaking out. He is not freaking out. He's talking about being with the Lord and stuff like that. And I admire that. I admire somebody that's like that. I really do. But the reason I bring it up is because afterwards he's talking like this, and he's so calm. He said his mother has a faster heartbeat during the games than he does, just because of how close to the Lord he feels and this Bible verses and stuff like this. And I'm like, so while I'm sitting there pacing back and forth, is he going to make it or not?
Yeah.
This mofo just walks out on the field right through the uprights, and I'm like, man, maybe I need to find the Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
I'm
gonna tell you like this: to God be the glory. I've been praying a lot more, like when I work out in the morning. Shout out to Planet Fitness. But when I'm in that gym, I'm in the hot tub. Like I'm always praying. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for KG. Man.
I know you are, and I appreciate that. You text me, you are. I appreciate
100%.
that.
So I have a greater spirit, an easier spirit. When things happen, I'm more calm, cool, and collected. Last Thursday, typical me would have blew up.
Right.
What was going on, and you came pick me up. We still got the Hall of Fame. Something happened today in which I could blew up, but I believe in my faith, and I think you're starting to see that more and more with the younger Kurtz. Remember J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum, as soon as they got to the podium after everyone, what first thing they're talking about the Lord, they're talking about their relationship. So that faith, man, is very strong, and I'm glad that he has that faith because I'm getting back to mine. It feels good.
It absolutely matters, and I feel good about that. Dante151, $20. NFL schedule update. As the Colts-Vikings game is now the Sunday night game, and the Jaguars-Eagles game is a 4:05 start. A little bit too late for the NFL. Could have had Lions-Vikings or Packers-Texans instead of Jets-Steelers yesterday. There's no doubt about that.
Don't forget these stations. Dante, Fox and CBS, they lock in their games as well. They want certain games on their networks. Certain games are off the table for anything primetime.
No doubt about it.
Thanks, Dante.
Absolutely. I want to get to Dan Campbell talking about Jared Goff, too, because I don't want to gloss over. I think we have glossed over for the last 3 years how good Jared Goff's been.
When he's protected, he's one of the best.
Absolutely. And here's what Dan Campbell had to say about his quarterback after the game.
The guy's got arm talent, there's no question, but it's what he's got here and what he's got here. And that's what makes him a dangerous player, and it's what makes him really one of these guys that you can build around because he's a winner, man. He will find a way to win. He'll find a way to put the offense in position to win the game. He doesn't get frazzled. He's tough. He's competitive, and he's just, man, he's reliable. He's reliable, and I love the guy, man. And once again, he steps up huge for us there on the road, division game.
It's incredible, man. It is incredible what Jared Goff has come in here and done. The arc of his career, the story of his career is just one of the most unique that I can remember in NFL history.
Just think about it like this. Like, what are you going to tell Jared Goff? Like, just look at his Jared. Like, what can you really tell Jared Goff about? He's not there. He doesn't have it. From the L.A. Rams, from everything that happened and how it happened, to get to Detroit, the worst franchise in the league. Like, I'm not lying. Am I making that up, man? The worst franchise in sports. He comes here and he watches the change in himself, the confidence in himself, the team. He watches the team change. Like, they have turned this worst franchise in professional sports to the best franchise in professional sports without a championship. I'll say that in the span of 3 years. Like, my confidence would be through the roof. It would be through the moon. And I'm seeing all this. I'm like, look at my numbers compared to these guys. Look at my numbers look at my wins, losses compared to this. His confidence should be through the roof. And after yesterday, I think it is through the roof.
Listen, that offensive line was phenomenal, and they missed Kevin Zeitler bad, big time, did. Especially in the beginning. I mean, Yodi was called for 3 holding penalties.
I think 3 of them, yeah.
And he was
phenomenal, man.
He
was okay.
But you know what? He got better as the game went on.
I can give you that.
Because you didn't hear about him, and Jared wasn't getting sacked. What do you have? 2 sacks, maybe? They almost had a couple of fumbles that came back to them. Everything went their way yesterday, and it was a huge win. You lose that game, you're 2.5 back. Now, you're in first place by yourself, a half a game ahead of the Vikings
You mentioned the offensive line, though. Jared Goff spoke about his O-line afterwards. Here's what Jared Goff had to say about the big uglies up front.
I see it on the film after. The dude's special and all-pro tackle for a reason. But, yeah, those guys really settled in. And it was really our whole offense, but you got to give them a lot of credit with what they're doing up front. Frank identifying it, our running backs protecting all day, giving me enough time to get the ball out. It's really a full team effort, and those 5 guys up front, I think Coyote stepping in, on late notice in the week with Kev and playing well, it's tough. And having all 5 of those guys play the way they did, it certainly gives us a good chance to win every week.
So there you go, Jared Goff talking about, and that's the bread and butter of this team, right? That's the bread and butter of this team is that offensive line. They make everything go. And it looked a little rough for a little while yesterday, but those guys got it together, and away they went. That offense, 21 points in the second quarter, and that really turned the game.
Look, it was an ugly game, man, but it's the NFL. You know, the NFL is not. The NFL is not always going to be pretty. Sometimes it is going to be ugly. You got to win ugly games. And yesterday, the Lions won an ugly game, but it looked tremendous on offense in terms of the things that they were able to do and keep the stats going. You talked about 18 touchdowns in the last 4 games versus 16 completions, 15 by your account, man. Ugly games have to be won in the NFL. Yesterday was a kind of pretty ugly win, if you want to. And oh my God, I'm so happy that Dave Montgomery wasn't seriously hurt.
Thank God. That took the spirit out of me again.
I'm not going to lie, man. I'm starting to realize that I really am a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Because when it looked like he was down, like my mood was about to be shot. Yep. Like I started taking a nap. We watched the game at my girl's parents' house. I'm taking a nap now. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a nap. I'm tired anyway. But he came back, and it reinvigorated us, and we watched the rest of the game. I think I am a Lions fan, but I'm glad that he came back because that could have been
detrimental.
Whew.
That would have hurt really bad because they're a dynamic 1-2 punch. What do they call themselves again?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles, man. I love it. I just love this team. You heard Dan Campbell in the locker room, how much he loves this team, how much he loves this staff, how much he loves everyone. So do we. We are so in love with this football team. And that was a tough place to win a game. Minnesota is a good team. I'm telling you, your top teams in the NFC right now are the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, and Washington. Those 4 teams, without a doubt, in that order, that's the best, and that's the cream of the crop. And they could go in and play with the Chiefs and Ravens any day of the week.
Jaden Daniels, what's the status on him?
Got hurt.
That's what I'm saying. You said Washington. That's good.
Marcus Mariota, pretty good backup to have. Stepped up. They put up 40 points.
If you're going to have a backup, Marcus Mariota is one that gives you a chance.
We wanted him here.
Tell that to the Falcons.
Yeah, right. I told you. Absolutely. Hey, the Lions won a game yesterday without the best player on defense. What now? And Maz, you mentioned the stat. 15 pressures for the Lions defense yesterday. In the last full game he started, according to Pro Football Focus, Aiden Hutchinson had 15 by himself.
Yeah.
Where does this team go from here? Where does this defense go from here? What do you think of the Lions defense after seeing them without Aiden Hutchinson on the field for this team? We'll get there next. But first, a message from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan.
My apologies, Ryan and Mike. I was just going to tell these guys to join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. And it's the 3C Sports League. Now, how you register for this is bgcsm.org. Now, what are you registering for? We got to get the kids out of the house, get them back into sports, get them back into participating outside, get them off the electronics just for a little while, ages 5 to 14. This is where we want to start. You got East Point, Belleville, Detroit, Highland Park. These are the cities that is available to, and it's available to you. All coaches, don't worry, all coaches undergo background checks, so your kids will be in good hands. Got to put the youth back in the youth sports, so bring your kids to the 3C Sports League. Your fitness is multiply your Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 located metropolitan locations, this is the gym for you. Squeaky clean gym, check. Trainer with every membership, check. And also, there is no judgment, so you can work out to the tune and march to the beat of your own drum. Do it at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
With any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? We all are, right? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. KG, it's $5,000, man.
Wow.
Call Mark White & Associates today, 248-290-8242. Make sure you hit him up online as well, markwhitesells.com. One more time with that number, Mark White & Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of the $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code, top left-hand corner of your screen right now, or get the coupon code today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
That was a good win. That was a good win. You know, I told the team to say that I was proud of them is a massive understatement. You know, we knew that team was they were playing good football, and they have been now for 5 weeks, coming off a bye, and we knew they were going to be ready, and it was going to come down to the wire. The team knew this. We talked about patience, man. Patience, keep your composure, communication, and then attitude. And our guys did that. We hung in there, and we didn't bat an eye. Things, you know, appear to start going a little south there at the end. Got the ball back. You know, we stopped a 2-point conversion, which was huge, and defensively, and then Goff and that O-line takes us right down the field with Gibbs and St. Brown and, man, Bates. How about that? What a kick. What a kick, man. Just a great team win, complimentary football across the board, offense, defense, special teams when we need it most, and really proud of these guys. That's a huge win on the road, tough environment, first one, and you don't want to say must win, but we needed that in a bad way.
Shout out Stephen Baffey, $10. Give AG and the other coaches their flowers. 3 of 4 sacks and 3 of 5 quarterback hits came from the back 7 on defense. And Trevor Nowaski, an undrafted free agent, closed the game with a sack. Absolutely, defense deserves a lot of credit. Aaron Glenn deserves a lot of credit. You know,
he lost his best guy, and he still did awesome.
They scored 28 points, and 14 of them were. You know, one was a fake punch.
Yeah, we gave him 14 points.
Short field, and the other 7 was off the Montgomery.
Yep.
Yeah, the Pace Jr.
fumble. Mm-hmm. Now what for the Detroit Lions defense? I think that's really what a lot of people are sitting here trying to figure out. Now what? And again, these are just stats. I watched the game, as I'm sure all of you did, and it did feel like Sam Darnold had a lot of time back there.
He did.
Had a lot of time to pick the Lions defense apart. Now, the back 7 did their job. Brian Branch, what can you say about that guy? I mean, he's
the best safety in base football.
Right now, absolutely. So what do you say about those guys? But you don't want to bury your head in the sand either. You know, Aiden Hutchinson, again, Pro Football Focus, says that Aiden Hutchinson in his last full game against Seattle had 15 pressures by himself. Yesterday, against the Vikings, the team had 15 pressures. Josh Paschal had a decent night as well.
He did, and he was hurt a couple times.
Absolutely. But what is next for the Detroit Lions? Got to make a move, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it's Zadarius Smith from Cleveland.
I don't know much about him.
Maybe it's not Max Crosby. Maybe it's not Myles Garrett. But by the way, Oakland, the Raiders. I can't say Las Vegas. The Raiders lost again and lost their quarterback, by the way. Aiden O'Connell, broken thumb. Yep. But their season's over.
So did the Browns.
That's a quarterback?
The Browns lost their quarterback for the season.
That's a quarterback?
They probably improved.
They improved.
They improved.
Right.
Like that. But, man, what are you hanging on to those guys for? What are you hanging on to those guys for?
Yeah, look, the Lions are going to have to make a move. We talked about that before the game. It didn't matter what happened against Minnesota or what happened against the Tennessee Titans. The Lions need to add another guy to this team. You can't just let somebody like Aiden Hutchinson of his caliber, you talk about 15 pressures by one guy, 15 by the whole team. You can't let a guy like that leave your organization due to injury, and you don't replace him with this season in the wings. And it looked good. Aaron Glenn, he made the necessary adjustments. He found players in the back end. Like you said, we have 4 sacks with guys that don't start. So I understand that, and that's good. But you got to make a decision. I think the decision is go out and get somebody. Now, with that being said, make sure you're not – don't make the decision with a gun to your head. And I think Brad Holmes does a good job of not doing that. He does a good job of making sure that it fits into the culture, that it fits into the pay budget, that it fits into the attitude. He makes sure that all boxes are checked. With that said, they need to check all those boxes after that Tennessee game or even before that. I would actually do it this week so then you can have this week against Tennessee. In the next game that we play, you can have this person implemented into the team. You saw what happened with Buffalo and their new addition.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper. So get the guy in so they can help.
That's a true pro.
Got to make the move, but as we know, Brad Holmes, he'll make the move as it relates to fitting into what they already are. So, yeah.
Steve Lehman on the chat said James Houston had 9 snaps yesterday, and I didn't hear his name at all. So
I saw him get blocked.
Like we said, 15 pressures by the entire team. They did get Josh Paschal had a sack. Was there a couple more sacks in that game? Maybe 1 or 2
more?
Nowatzki
at the end.
Yeah, Nowatzki at the end. Undrafted
Jack
free
Campbell
agent.
had one
Shout
as well.
out to him.
Yeah.
But you look at the Browns. To me, the Browns were going to be a playoff team coming into this year if Deshaun Watson became himself again. Obviously, they're a lot closer to being a good team again than the Raiders. I don't think the Browns make a move. Maybe Zadarius Smith because he's on the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
But I don't see Myles Garrett going anywhere. He's the leader of that team, one of the defensive players of the year every single year. But the Raiders, they got no chance. They don't have a shot for the next 3 to 5 years to be good. So why not make a move with Max Crosby? And I know Woodward Sports was on top of this all weekend long. He was here from Eastern Michigan again, I guess, over the weekend. I don't know how. How was he here?
I don't know.
For the weekend if they're playing football.
Flies his own plane, probably.
Okay. Nonetheless, we're putting a lot out there on social media, and I hope eventually it'll come to fruition that maybe a blockbuster deal can be made, and you bring a guy of that caliber. Not that caliber. Bring that guy here. That would be an unbelievable bookend when Hutch comes back. I can't understand why you wouldn't make that deal if you could.
The other thing about players like that, now look, we hope the deal gets done. I believe it's out of the realm of possibility, but maybe it's not. Just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But guys like that want to win. Guys like that make so much money off the field anyway. A lot of these guys, man, they're starting to make money in endorsement, tech deals, things that night, ambassadorships. So maybe money isn't the thing for him. Maybe he's had enough money. Maybe now the thing for him is winning, coming back home, being on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, and figuring out how to win here in Detroit, place where he's from, up the road. But just with this, too, I know a lot of people are excited about the game yesterday. And, shout out to your comment, hey, what I'm saying, you got to give credit to Aaron Glenn. Those guys did step up for Aiden Hutchinson. But you know what happens, Ryan Ermanni? And we've said this before, whether it was Josh Dobbs or whatever quarterback took over or whatever running back, you got film. And when these guys go back and they watch the film on these players, the next team that you play, they'll have a bit more film on them. And the more and more you go, game and game, there's more film. And teams will start to scheme ways. to take advantage of guys that are not starters. So that's why you have to get a guy. I know it looked good yesterday, but the more you put out there, the more tape they have, the more they're going to break that down and they're going to put guys in bad positions. So that's why you got to get a guy too.
One of the things that I thought about last night after watching the game and just like, man, what would this team look like with Max Crosby? And I'm going to use Max Crosby specifically.
Turned out he wasn't here. He just reposted a story.
And Miles Garrett, by the way. These two guys, these two studs, these two giants of the game right now at their current positions. Why in the world? And my screen just went dark, of course, and I had okay, here it is. If you're the Raiders or if you're the Browns, why wouldn't you trade your assets? Because I think yesterday was a highlight that the Lions are living proof that you can get good quickly in this league with draft capital. Now you have to fill that void. You have to pick good players. You have to hire competent people to pick good players.
Raiders haven't done that in years.
I understand that. But it just Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. Brad Holmes, let's just take Holmes for instance. 2021, he had a 1, a 2, and 2 threes. Okay? In 2022, 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. In 23, 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s.
Wow.
You want to talk about getting good quickly? That's how you do it with draft capital, draft picks, and you pick good players when you have that. And you can pick a lemon in there too. You don't have to be perfect. You can pick, no lemons here.
Yeah. No. Remember we thought Pascal was a lemon.
Right.
He's turning out he's starting to ripe.
Okay, how about your 2 third-round picks in 2023? Neither of them are helping you. Hendon Hooker and Broderick Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, just nobody's helping you on the field right now. Neither of those two. But
Hendon Hooker and who?
Broderick Martin.
See?
They're not helping you on the field right now. But you have two 1s and 2 2s. So if you're the Raiders and you're sitting there with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, you have no talent. You have no game changer whatsoever. You got one game changer. How do you turn that guy into maybe 3 picks, 2 1s and a 3? How about that? You're going to tell me no to that? And then maybe you take another player and you say, look, I want a 2 or a 3 for that guy. That's how you do this. And it takes 2 to 3 years to draft well. That's all. It can happen quickly if you do it right. But hanging on to Max Crosby, paying him $94 million and being 1-5, that's not helping you either.
Yeah, but see, you're speaking from a logical standpoint. You're speaking from someone that understands and you see the things. You're not speaking from what Mark Davis is, a person that's not equipped to be the owner of the team. And as I understand, I love Al Davis, but Mark Davis, in my opinion, is not equipped. You're looking at a guy that every time he sees a move that he's made, it's a horrible move. Whether it was what was the head coach? Whether it was
Bisaccia?
Before that, the Gruden situation.
Oh yeah.
Then you impulsively fire Rich Bisaccia because you're like, no, he's the special teams coach. He's not the guy I'm looking for. Then you bring in
McDaniels.
Then you bring in McDaniels. That doesn't work.
Horrible.
Then you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. Then you bring in Devontae Adams. These are all moves that have been made within the last 3 years. None of them are working. Every time that happens, what are they doing? What's going on? And he's hearing his name in a negative light. And this is just another move. So it's going to take a logical, smart, rational individual, Brad Holmes, to be able to bring that conversation to him a certain type of way. We can talk to her blue in the face about what should happen, but we're talking about an irrational, unlogical person. It's going to take somebody like Brad Holmes. It's going to take that to really hammer the point home. Everything you just said, Ryan, hammer that point home. Hey, look, this is where we were. This is how we built. This is how we started. This is where it starts from. I know you don't want to give up your prized possession because right now, outside of people that come and see the opposition, only people that going to a Vegas game that are in Vegas is for Max Crosby. You take him out the equation, they don't have anybody and anybody else. It's going to take Brad Holmes to push that conversation, to push it down below.
I've told you the Raider fans are back in Oakland still, in L.A. The Raiders, they sell their stadium, Allegiant Stadium. It's probably 50% minimum for the other team.
I would say more than that.
Yeah, when the Steelers had 75% Steeler fans in there. So don't talk about the fans right now.
Yeah.
The fans are a non-entity. What happens now is Tom Brady is now a 10, or him and Richard Seymour, 5% each. So they're 10% owners. Those are the guys that have to get Mark Davis's ears now. Those are guys that have been closer to the game than him. They have to talk sense into this guy because the Raiders are non-entity. And it's a sin that the silver and black are a disgrace as they are. Commitment to excellence. What happened? What happened to that team? They're a joke of a franchise instead of being one of the elite in the NFL. They're nowhere near being what they used to be. And if Mark Davis had a stitch of love for his dad, he would turn to his other owners right now, the other people that know a lot more than him, and get something done to get that team going. And like you said, Rye, $94 million for a player that's not going to help you win games. You got to deal them. And I know it's a long shot, but I hope it works.
It's not that he won't help them win games. I mean, you're not going to win. You're not going to win championships
with one
at all.
guy.
Excuse me one second. I got to sneeze.
Salute.
Yeah, but to your
got it. But you're not going to win anything with just Max Crosby.
Right.
You need if you can get 3 starters for Max Crosby, wouldn't you do it? 3 impact starters for Max Crosby, wouldn't you do it? I mean, 2 1s and a 3.
How do you not?
I don't know why you wouldn't do that, especially because you look at the Lions and you see this is the best team in football, not the best team in the NFC North. This is the best team in the division. In 3 short years, best team in the league. In 3 short years ago, they were 3-13-1. But because they drafted well, because they had a number of draft picks to choose from, they completely rebuilt the talent pool on their team. And that has, in turn, made them the best team in football.
Don't forget, they got a quarterback back for Matthew Stafford as well.
That's a huge thing. Give him Hendon Hooker, too.
I don't know if Hendon Hooker's going to do it.
I mean, I don't know either.
Yeah.
But whatever you think you need to do.
Agreed.
You know,
if they want him, I'm all for it. Take him.
Whatever you think you need to do.
Take him. Give us Minshew. We'll take him as a backup.
Now, I don't know. If you want salary cap stuff, you got to listen to Neil. Okay?
Yeah.
From what I understand, they have plenty of money right now to fit him in.
Right now.
Going forward, they have 5 guys that they want to re-sign next year.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, you got
Correct.
5 guys you got to re-sign next year. Does that mean if you get Crosby this year, can you not re-sign Branch
You might lose a few of them.
Laporta?
You're not going to lose Branch and Laporta.
I understand that.
But you might lose Melifonwu and guys like that.
Derek Barnes, guys like that. No offense to them.
I won't worry about Branch Laporta right now. Branch Laporta on year 2.
Yes.
So you're talking about paying these guys before the start of year 3?
Yeah,
I'm not worried about them.
They're 4-year guys. They're not 5-year guys.
This is true.
So, because they're both second-round picks.
Yeah. But you got the heavy lifting done with Aleem already. So that's really one of your bigger signings. Of course, you had to wait on Hutch, and he got hurt. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that right now. So like I said, it's between Derek Barnes and guys of that nature.
At the end of the day, look, man, the road to success, it always isn't easy. It doesn't go exactly like you want it to. It doesn't go exactly like you set out. And we've set out to do it where we re-sign our own guys. We're in-house. We're ingrown. We're doing all these things. Sometimes that's not the way. Sometimes you got to do something different if you want to still achieve that prize, that message. So there's some guys that, maybe there is a thing there, but this team is ready. This team is ready now. You're going to have to make a move, and the move is now as well. So Brad Holmes, figure it out. Figure it out.
Do you know that the winningest coach in life? I've got the Wikipedia up for the draft history. That's why I'm seeing this right now. Who's the winningest coach in Lions history?
Joe
Caldwell?
Schmidt. Not Joe Schmidt.
Wayne Fontes?
Dan Campbell?
Wayne Fontes?
Wayne Fontes.
Yeah. He has a 500 record.
66 and 67.
Oh, it's 1 game under. Rasputin.
Dan Campbell will be breaking that. So.
That's where you're starting from, though. That's your starting point, where your franchise is. And again, that's another reason to highlight how good your team can get if you acquire draft picks and if you pick the right players.
First year was rough. I was like, how is Dan there already? But I forgot that first year.
3-13-1. Brutal.
Yeah, but then they made up for it essentially last year.
But then they were 9-8.
Yeah, and they made up for it last year. And this year, 5-1?
Yeah. 17 wins over the last 2 years.
What's his record in total?
Well, 5. So 5 this year, 12 last year. That's 17. 17 and 9 the year before that is 26. So he's got 29 wins.
Okay.
Almost halfway there. He'll be halfway to Wayne after the season.
Wow.
Halfway.
You know, I'm looking at the defensive stats, just for the heck of it. Alex Anzalone, 8 tackles, 7 solo. Kirby Joseph, 7, 6 solo. Malcolm Rodriguez, 7. He had a sack.
He had a good game, Malcolm Rodriguez.
Tackle for loss. Jack Campbell had a sack. I didn't know that.
I didn't hear his name once. I was thinking about Jack.
He had 7 tackles.
I saw him a couple times.
7 tackles.
By
and
the way,
a sack.
that Malcolm Rodriguez, that tackle for a loss, that's on Justin Jefferson. That's when he caught him on that receiver screen. I was very impressed with that play, man.
He always hustles. When he's in the game, man, he does well. Malcolm does well.
Yeah.
But, again, now I'm going to look at DJ Reader. 2 sacks. 2 total tackles. Amik Robertson, 2. Terry and Arnold, 2. Pat O'Connor, 2. Who else? That's it. Josh Paschal had 4 tackles and a sack.
TFL.
Who was the guy that was it Amik Robertson and Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, they
going
were
at it all
jawing at
day?
each other.
They played against each other in high school.
Oh.
How cool is that?
It is.
Isn't that
It is.
great?
But Anzalone all over the field. All over the
Absolutely.
field.
It's tremendous what's happening with the Detroit Lions. Hey, before this segment ends, I wanted to take a minute because we have not been in studio together since Braylon was inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame on Thursday night. And that was really, obviously, a great night for Braylon and his family. But that was a great night for us here, too, at Woodward Sports. And anybody that knows Braylon and knows what he has, just the arc of his career and post-career and everything like that. And he gave us a shout-out on stage at the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Which was extremely humbling to hear my name on stage. It was incredible. I just wanted to thank you publicly for that. Braylon pulled me into the family picture, too, when we were taking pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it was really a pleasure to see you not only get inducted into the Hall of Fame, but to see where you are in your life now, because I know the space that you're in is a very, very good space, and I'm glad that this happened to you now and not, whenever. So it's like all good things. All good things happen to those who wait. This is one of the great moments, I think, for you in your life, and as your friend, this was tremendous to see.
Well, I appreciate it, and I love you, brother, man. You said that you saw my family and friends get to sharing it. You guys are my family and friends, Woodward Sports. That's why you guys
Love seeing your posse there as well.
I appreciate it, man. The crew, we ride.
Love those guys.
It's good to see Pete Spivak came and supported. KG was there. The heavyweights were there. They did the show live.
Pete was partying with Jack Harbaugh.
Yeah, man. He was getting it
Right,
in.
Zumba.
Right, baby.
A little who's got it better than us.
Stan
but,
Edwards
you
was-
see the ring, man, and I'm just proud to say that I'm part of the Hall of Fame down here in Michigan. But the Shazam ring, one from DC Comics. But it's a team thing, and it's family and friends, and that's why I was happy everybody was able to come out and make it, man. It truly is. It takes a village, and everybody's a part of the story. Everybody's a part of the journey, as you see right here. So I'm just humble, honored, and I'm glad it's over. Now we can get back to this football.
Did you get your poster?
No, I did not take that.
Oh.
They may send it in the mail.
You need that.
Put it in the basement.
That's a beauty.
Yeah, it was fun. It's always a little back and forth whenever you get a Michigan State guy. Me and Sean Respert.
That was great.
Had some fun.
Y'all was going back and forth.
Friendly sparring.
Yeah, it was fun.
Friendly sparring.
What a great class, too. I mean, Sean Respert, Ken Holland,
Kenny.
Cecil Fielder.
Big Daddy.
Both in attendance.
Incredible.
Deanna Nolan, 3-time
Donnie
winner.
Deanna
Shane.
Nolan.
100%.
Tony O,
Right.
Don Shane.
Yeah.
Rest
Jake
in peace,
Long.
Don Shane.
Jake Long lost like 80 pounds.
He
Yeah.
looks so
Amazing.
different.
Dude.
It's crazy.
That's when it gets scary. Like when you lose that type of weight. Like Jake Long and I standing side by side. I whisper in Jake's ear. I'm like, Jake, how much you weigh right now? He said I'm on 241. I said, Jake, I'm 242 right now. Like Jake Long is 6'8".
I was 242 back in February.
You look great right now. I
wish I was 242.
on Jake Long. That's when it gets scary. I was like, hey, look, I'm your guy. I'm here for you. He said, no, I feel great. I'm like, all right, just got to check from time to time.
He looked healthy as an ox.
Yeah, he did. He looked healthy.
The best speech, obviously, was Kenny Holland, the manager.
Oh, that was.
Did you stay for his?
I didn't hear his.
That he was going to sell Electrolux vacuum.
No, start it with the liquor store.
He was a liquor. After he got let go by the Red Wings as a goalie.
Oh. Okay.
As a goalie, he moved into his mother's house. Him and his wife and his kids had to live in the basement. His wife's like, "You got to get a job." He kept calling his agent. "Anyone call yet?" He's like, "No." So he goes to a liquor store. He works at a liquor store. Then he comes home. His mom's like, "Hey, I found this in the newspaper. You could sell Electrolux vacuums. And you know what? I'll buy one. You get 40% of that sale. Your Aunt Margaret down the street, you could buy one there. She'll buy one. Your grandmother will buy one." So he's excited. So his wife comes home and he tells her, "Hey, honey, we're going to sell Electrolux." She says, "The hell you are. You're not selling Electrolux vacuums." Next day, Jimmy Devellano calls him. "Hey, you want to be a scout for our Western Hockey Association?" Boom. The rest is history.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yep. Kenny Holland.
It was going to sell vacuum.
Kenny Holland, the manager.
Wow.
That was a great night.
What as a former local sportscaster myself, it was good to see Don Shane's kids.
Oh, they're beautiful kids.
He'd be so proud of them.
No doubt.
Can't believe it's just like you like Don Shane's such a young man.
He should still be with us.
Absolutely, and he would be so proud of his kids that accepted that honor for him. To be inducted. And Braylon, there was a nice classy shout out you gave to Don Shane as well.
I appreciate it.
He gave you your first shot, right?
I knew, 100%. With Channel 7, he reached out to Tom Lydon on my behalf. He was living in Arizona at the time, and I ran into him at J. Alexander's, and he said, "Hey, Braylon, man, I got an opportunity for you, man. Like, you ever wanted to." So, the rest is history. But just an amazing guy. Don Shane, every time I saw him, he and my father had a relationship, and I made sure I told his kids, behind closed doors, too, that your father would be extremely proud of you, man. He was a good man. Like, I want you guys to know that if you don't, which you already do. So, yeah, like I said, it was a special class, and there was a connection with me and everybody on the stage at some point in time.
Listen, I was in New York growing up, and Marv Albert was our night guy. Yes. He was our sports guy. Yeah. Marv Albert and Warner Wolf, two of the all-time greats. Don Shane, he's their equal. Ooh. That's how good Don Shane was.
Very good.
There it is.
Guys, we'll leave it there. One thing that made Braylon a Hall of Famer, amongst many things, but was the game he had against Michigan State in 2004. 3 touchdown catches, single-handedly won that game for him, and they call it the Braylon game. Well, it just so happens that it's the Michigan State game this week. We'll talk about that next. I'll get back to the NFL.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. We'll get back to the NFL, but I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about Michigan State. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
Dr. Pierce. Don't forget, guys, it's our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He joins Big D Energy every Tuesdays with us on Thursdays. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Braylon trust. Heck, we all trust him. Special sauce. Come on now. Dr. Jeff Pierce. Visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call him 248-426-9944. Tell them the guys at Woodward Sports sent you. And have you ever thought about volunteering but you didn't know how and where to start? Well, if you start with the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign, it's that time of the year. It is the holiday season coming up. Halloween, just 10 days away right now. And then, of course, you got Thanksgiving and Christmas. RegisterToRing.com is the place where you want to go. RegisterToRing.com. Sign up for shifts. You can do shifts at a physical Red Kettle site, 2 hours out in front of a store, or you can do it from home. They call that a virtual bell ringing site, and that you can do right away. Traditional bell ringing doesn't begin until Friday, November the 7th. Runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sunday. So sign up for volunteer shifts. Do it today. Visit RegisterToRing.com. Salvation Army Red Kettle.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
The best drink in the long drink game, a gin-based cocktail made right here in the great state of Michigan, man. It is Taller, the Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company, made in Holland, Michigan. And its shoulders above the rest, made with all natural ingredients, 100% small batch gin, grapefruit, and a delicious flavor. Taller is your local long drink.
Now it's time to tell you about Soroki's, because that's where the new signature wings are, and the best I'll save you out of the 7 is the lemon pepper. But don't sleep on the Parmesan, don't sleep on the teriyaki, and don't sleep on the buffalo, because they all get it done. Soroki's is stepping up in major ways, man. It's football season, so you want to have some wings for the game. But if that's not your speed, don't forget what they started with. That crispy chicken and the pizza. The crispy chicken is fire, and the pizza is that New York pie style that Mans and New Yorkers and New Jersey people love so much. Also, don't sleep on those honey biscuits. The biscuits and honey are the thing, and everybody's talking about them. I'm hearing my grandparents even talk about it. So my grandparents talking about the honey biscuits, and they make them from scratch. That let you know that these biscuits are popping. Go to Soroki's, man.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Looking for a new car, pre-owned car, need some service? Look no further than Les Stanford. They've got the new dealership, Buick GMC dealership in Ferndale, located on Michigan Avenue, on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. All the GM brands you want under one umbrella. Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, Corvette. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And let's drive on out of here, because I'll tell you.
How about those leather helmets?
Got my check back.
I knew Michigan was going to lose when I saw those helmets.
Yeah.
I said third.
Michigan embarrassed on the road at Illinois. 21-7 was the final. Illinois wore uniforms from 100 years ago and painted those old school helmets. I knew once I got a look at those helmets that Michigan was going to lose.
That was like the old days when teams walked into the big house and saw the Michigan helmet.
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel a certain kind of way about this game, and it's perhaps there's not going to be some rant today.
They scored 7 points.
There's not going to be some rant. I'm just here to tell you how disappointing this is that Michigan doesn't have a quarterback. I'm here to tell you how disappointing this is because it didn't have to be like this. I'm here to tell you this is disappointing because Michigan's head coach, Sharon Moore, started a 25-year-old quarterback who can't throw.
He did throw for 200, though.
There isn't one quarterback on this roster that can throw. And if the freshman's parents don't want him to play, which my timeline was filled with.
Right. We've been hearing it all year.
Jaden Davis's parents don't want him to burn his red shirt. He can't play. I need to hear it from the head coach. Say he's not an option. He's not going to play. Because I don't want to lose 6 games with a 25-year-old quarterback. I'll lose 6 games with a freshman quarterback. Hell, I'll lose 6 games with Alex Orji.
Yeah.
No way.
But I'm not losing 6 games with Jack Tuttle. Just not doing it. And they're going to lose this week. Michigan State's going to beat them. And it's going to be a huge wake-up call to the Michigan football program. Michigan cannot beat them. The only way Michigan beats Michigan State is if Michigan State beats themselves, which is possible.
Yeah. Aiden Childs
It
turns over a
is
lot.
possible. They are a turnover machine over there in East Lansing. It's a turnover machine, that Michigan State offense. And that is the only hope that Michigan has to beat Michigan State this week. Things are that bad. And I think some people are starting to make some business decisions too. I don't know that, but it just feels like that. And the program, I am more disappointed in this year, and I mean this, than any single year under Rich Rodriguez. And I'll tell you why. This is a continuation of what should have been a national championship run. 3 straight Big Ten championships. A national championship. One coach just taking over from the next. And now you can just go out and get whatever you need. There are no restrictions. If you need a quarterback, you go get a quarterback. You need a left tackle, you go get a left tackle. You need a kicker, you go get a kicker. You don't have to wait 4 years. You don't have to wait 2 years. You don't have to wait 3 years. You can just go do whatever you want. Rich Rodriguez came into a program and tried to completely overhaul that program with 0 support. 0 support, complete overhaul of a program. They tried it. It didn't work. He got fired. You move on. This is not that. This is completely different. And I find it more upsetting than any single year under Rich Rodriguez.
As opposed to who's going to win the game this weekend, I'll save my answer for when I'm not wearing green. I refuse to be that guy wearing green saying that, so I'll save that for tomorrow or another day. As relates to that, I'm done talking about it. You know, we said this last week and the week before. You watched after this Arkansas State game. You know, we saw what this was going to be, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. They lost to Illinois on the road. Illinois is not even that good of a team. They're not even that good of a team. So it was bound. It was only a matter of time. It was bound to happen for Michigan got to this point. At the end of the day, running the football is not sustainable in 2024. Like it worked. It worked with Harbaugh. You know, it worked with the national championship last year. It worked with those who stay. That concept still works. The concept is not the same anymore. And quarterbacks aren't coming to a school that's not going to pass the ball. Like if I'm a top 5 quarterback overall, and you tell me I'm going to a school where the quarterback averages 100 yards passing the game, that's the type of offense they run. I just am not coming there. And I said a reckoning was coming, and I caught hell for that. And it's all good. I'm used to it. A reckoning is coming, and what this offseason looks like is going to shake up. It's going to find the very foundation that is Michigan football. So we'll see what happens in the offseason. As far as this, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's just one of those type of seasons, man. And I think it's as opposed to beat these kids up anymore, beat this coach up anymore, it is what it is, and it ain't gonna get no better.
All right, here's the first thing. He was the wrong coach from day one. Yeah. He was. I'm sorry. He was, and he is. His staff is underwhelming.
Sure, you lost 3 staff members before the season even started.
Martindale is the second highest paid defensive coordinator in the country.
And he's horrible.
He's not doing it. It's not working. Now, here's the worst part about it. 3 straight Big Ten championships, beat Ohio State all 3 times, and you win the national championship. And you still have people saying, oh, let's put an asterisk on it. Put an asterisk on it because of the Connor Stallions thing. Really? Put an asterisk on it, all the people that left that team and went to the NFL. The only thing I could say positive about this team is they lost 18 players to the NFL. They lost their entire coaching staff except Sharon Moore and a couple of his guys.
I mean, Sharon Moore and Ron Bellamy. I feel like everybody else is new.
Everyone else is new. So they got completely whitewashed. Yes, Jim Harbaugh left the cupboard bare. Yes, he did. Ward Manuel has to take a hit on this because don't tell me he didn't know that Jim was going to leave. All right? If he did know he was going to leave, at least get together with anyone that's in this program and start recruiting last year and getting players. If you couldn't recruit last year with the team that he put out the last 3 years, then you're never going to be able to recruit. And you're not going to recruit off of this team. And why should I play? There's, like you said, 4 guys on this team that are going to get drafted in the NFL. 4.
In the first round.
First round. After that, they're a Division II team. And I'm exaggerating. They can't beat a MAC team. I'm exaggerating. Northern Illinois already beat Notre Dame. Any team can beat Michigan right now. God forbid what Oregon's going to do to them at the Big House. And I've been saying it since a month ago. Michigan State should win this game. But like you said, Rye, they're probably their own worst enemy. The spread's 5. So already they're begging you to take Michigan State into 5. So Vegas, maybe they're up to something. I have no idea what they think, what they see that I don't see.
Michigan going to score 5?
I don't know. They're giving 5 points to Michigan State. You wouldn't catch me dead at this game.
Well, I got to be there for work, so there goes that. But it is what it is. I know a lot of Michigan State people, a lot of Michigan pundits. They're laughing, they're eating it up, and they got everything to say. Look, it is what it is. Yeah, Michigan just isn't the team they were last year. 18 of those players are in the league, the coach and the coaching staff. But with that being said, they didn't do a good job preparing for the future. There was always going to be a next season, and I don't think this Michigan team, whether you want to say Jim Harbaugh left the cupboard bare, Ward Manuel left the cupboard bare.
They both did, right?
Sharon Moore, no, 100%. Yeah. I'm agreeing. I'm saying all of them are included. They did not prepare for the season after the national championship, and here we are. We should be celebrating the national championship with at least another attempt at a Big Ten championship. But, you know, what we are is an above-average team. I mean, an average team, excuse me.
How could this team not be good after the last 3 years? It boggles my mind how this team don't have the best recruits from the nation on this team. How does that happen?
Money.
I keep feeling like I keep explaining it and no one listens to it, man. The way Michigan run is an impossibility that just worked for the last 3 years. They run the ball. Now, defensively, you can get the defensive side of the ball. Now, the defense is a conundrum. They still got players over there, a lot of injuries. The defensive side of the ball is different. Just speaking specifically on offense, you can't win without passing the ball. You can't win without wide receivers or quarterbacks this, that, and the third. Michigan's been able to win that. And they had a stud quarterback, didn't even have to use him as a stud quarterback. He just happened to be good. But he was playing Blake Corum, Hassan Haskins, here's Donovan Edwards, here's the best offensive line in football for 3 years. And then those guys left. And then you start to realize lightning in the bottle. Lightning in the bottle with Jim Harbaugh in this 3-year wave, man. It looked good at the time. It was great at the time. Won us a national championship, but it wasn't sustainable for the future, and I don't think they prepared for it.
Do you remember when we went over the schedule like a month ago? And we were laughing? No, and I said loss. I'm going to be right.
I said 7 wins, 7-5.
I said 12 wins initially, and then I said after the Texas game, because I thought Texas was so good, they're not going to lose again. But I just couldn't believe for the life of me. And again, this is why seeing is believing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never in a million years considered the fact that there's not one guy that Michigan can line up at quarterback that can throw the ball.
Yeah.
I never have been able to process that until I actually saw three different quarterbacks start for Michigan, and all three quarterbacks can't throw the ball. I'm not going to say that I can throw better, but I feel like I can throw better.
And
Mike G and I have been laughing in the chat.
You probably could.
Mike G and I have been laughing in the chat that Michigan's back to a basketball school.
We
because
are.
They just beat Oakland. They just beat Oakland
By
U.
50.
There we go. They're a basketball school again.
Shout out to Dusty.
It's unbelievable.
We talk about how bad these quarterbacks are, and I think somewhere along the line we thought that Michigan was quarterback U and had been quarterback U. Let's take you back down the road of Michigan quarterbacks in the past 10 years. I know, but do I need to run that? Shea Patterson wasn't good. Dillon wasn't good. Wilton Spate wasn't good. John O'Corn wasn't good.
They'd be better than this.
Will they? The wide receivers can't get open.
They stink
and
too.
That is another thing.
The wide receivers can't get open.
Everything is bare.
It is.
You guys said it. You have a defensive back as a freaking running back.
He is, yeah.
He better than Donovan Edwards.
Donovan Edwards.
Just being real.
He needs the Lions. He needs the Lions offensive line to get a yard.
What happened to him?
I don't know.
He was always this.
I think he was always this.
Yeah.
Like you put a guy, because he has some talent. He has some skill. He's fast. He can catch out of the backfield. He has better hands than any wide receiver on any team. In each of the years, he's been there. He can throw. He's a wild card. You put him behind the best offensive line in football. You put him with a quarterback that's very, very crafty in his own right. But then also you put him with other running backs that are the Thunder. You know, Blake Corum was the Thunder. Hassan Haskins was the Thunder. You know, he's able to kind of fit in there and catch you off guard. Now he's the guy, but now there's no offensive line. Now there's no JJ. Now there's no Roman Wilson or, you know, the wide receivers, the players to get open. You know, Cornelius Johnson.
Is he a pro, Bray?
Who? Donovan? He is.
What round?
I think he'll be a better pro than he is a college player.
He's not a
to be honest
3-down
with you.
back, though, and that's what we got to get out of.
And there's a ton of those in the NFL.
What is he, a 4th round pick? 5th round pick?
Yeah.
Like fourth. He has the speed. He has the cachet. You see what he's done when he's been on a team that had that. So, I mean, that's what the teams that are drafting him are going to draft him what he did this year. They're not looking at this. They're looking at the roster.
Explosives.
100%. And he still showed you that this year a little bit in the Washington game. You know, he kind of found himself a little bit. So he'll still be what he always was, which is a 4th rounder, which is why I didn't understand why he came back. Like, this year wasn't going to change his draft status, and this team wasn't going back-to-back national championship. I never understood why he came back. It was very different when Blake Corum did it. Blake Corum took a chance to come back when I thought he should have left because his draft stock wouldn't get better. But Blake came back and won a national championship on a team that was the best Michigan's ever seen. Wins and losses wise.
I don't know how much money he's making. Maybe he stayed for a few bucks.
And that's the other reason.
He can go to cottage pizza. I have no idea why he stayed off the Rose Bowl.
NIL money,
off the national championship.
I forgot about the NIL piece
Got me.
too. Yeah. And plus, also, his family's down the street. He went to West Bloomfield High School.
I don't want to blame him either.
And you get a degree.
Yeah.
Probably, you know,
that's the amazing part too.
I'm not blaming the kid. I feel sorry for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This team's a wreck.
I don't blame any. I don't even know if I fully blame Sharon Moore, because
you can't really.
Because again, he's not gonna say no. I don't want the job.
Yeah,
especially as the first brother to do that.
Right. Nobody's gonna say no. I'm not qualified for that job. Tell you a quick story.
Mm-hmm.
I was never in. I've never been in radio before. But this is back in 2010-ish. I was
Are
never
you going back to DFN right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I was never in radio before. Basically, I was limited to reading a teleprompter and writing my stand-up on my thing for 15 seconds.
Yep.
You do a stand-up open, a stand-up close. You write it down on a piece of paper. You memorize it. And then that's what you say on
your
on
cameraman
TV.
holds it up for
right,
you.
Yeah,
Even though you were doing your own camera,
right?
probably.
No, not at Fox 2. Never at Fox 2, but I have in the past.
Yeah.
So I think it was Sean Belegian. I said, hey, Sean, because DFN was coming back.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Sean, I'd love to be an update guy. You know, like, I'd love to get in, make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more exposure. I just want to be an update guy. So he gave my name to the lights went out, but that's all right. Well, there you go.
And we're back.
The lights went out, yeah. So
Program
Gave
director.
my name to the program director, Todd Thomas.
Todd.
Todd Thomas was the program director at the time. And I was like, yeah, I just want to be an update guy, because think about it. For update guys, sports updates, top and bottom of each hour.
You're reading your own
literally
script.
reading a script.
Yeah, you're reading your script.
Not on camera. You're just reading the updates, reading the scores.
Sorry about that. Hit your camera thing.
So
I was a great update guy, by the way.
You were the best. You were the best.
Better than
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Yeah, you were the best, Tom. So I interview for what I think is being an update guy. And then the guy calls me back like a week later, and he says, hey, how would you like to have your own show? My own show, and sit there and talk every day for 2 hours by myself? Okay.
Right.
I had absolutely zero business getting that job. Not even 0.5. Okay? Like zero business. Was not prepared for that job at all. Not the job I was interviewing for.
Yeah.
At all. But I took that job. And I failed miserably.
Yeah.
And again, and I say that is a roundabout way to, I don't care what job it is. I don't care how prepared or unprepared you think you are. You are not going to say no to a job opportunity.
That's a fact.
So I don't blame Sharon Moore. I blame Warren Manuel.
Exactly.
I don't blame myself for failing, even though there's a lot of blame I could put on myself. I blame Todd Thomas for putting me in that position.
Todd.
I should have never been in that position. Ever. And so that's why I don't really blame Sharon Moore. You're going to take jobs when you're offered the job.
Right.
It's a roundabout way.
That's a great story.
To say that.
That's true, but let's not forget when Jim Harbaugh and NIL, when this thing got rocking and rolling, maybe we were year 1, year 2, year 3 even doing Woodward Sports, a.k.a. Bottom Line, a.k.a. Ermanni Edwards with Maz. Jim Harbaugh said the famous tagline, this is not a transactional institution. This is a transformational one. And that is business that he stood on for a very long time. Until he realized it couldn't. But by then, you've got Warren Manuel who's already trying to make this happen, trying to work this thing out. Guys are trying to change the institution. It worked for Jim Harbaugh. That sales pitch worked. A lot of players came because their parents, they liked the fact that this is what Jim Harbaugh was saying. And they didn't want their players to get trapped into the money. Show me the money. Show me the quantity. You got a lot of good players. You got a lot of players that came in with the right mindset, the right attitude, the right families, the right upbringing, and then they were able to mentor these players, mature these players with the help of Ben Herbert and that coaching staff and turn them into the best team in college football. But now, it is a transactional situation, and because this was the mindset, we're behind. And how behind, we never knew until this year, when all those players and that identity and that coach and that mindset, that's now gone. And now we're left with Sharon Moore, we're left with these players, and we're left with Warren Manuel, who's like, it's transactional. How do we get active?
Listen, Pete, cue up Tony Bennett, the Virginia head coach. Cue that up. Let me know when you're ready. Tony Bennett, one of the best college basketball coaches.
He's one of the best crooners of all time, too, by the way.
You know, he resigned his position last week. And I'm going to play this soundbite from you. Did you not know that?
No, I did not know
I'm going to play the soundbite for you, this video. Check this out and make your own decision.
This game, I think it's right for players, student athletes to receive revenue. Please don't mistake me. I do. I think it is. But the game and college athletics is not in a healthy spot. It's not. And there needs to be change. And it's not going to go back. I think I was equipped to do the job here the old way. And that's who I am, and that's how it was. And my staff has buoyed me along to get to this point. But there needs to be change. It's going to be closer to a professional model, Coach Carlisle. I think it is, where there's got to be collective bargaining. There has to be a restriction on the salary pool that teams can spend. There has to be transfer regulation restrictions. There has to be some limits on the agent involvement to these young guys. And there are good agents and there are bad agents, and they're driving some of this stuff that we're in. And I worry a lot about the mental health of the student athletes as all this stuff comes down. And it's sometimes when you're in it, you have to step away, and maybe I can be an advocate for the student athletes and the coaches to get the changes. But this is a place that will.
Yeah, I appreciate the conversation. You know, it's one where you can tell it's heartfelt. He's talking about his players. He's talking about the mindset. Maz just brought up and reminded me. He's talking about a guy who just won a national championship a couple of years ago, and now here it is. He doesn't even feel like he's equipped to compete in this day and age. He says he was equipped before this day and age. Ryan, the problem is, how do you can't get the genie back in the bottle. So how do you get to a space where you start to have rules, you start to put things in place? Because the NCAA, nobody's listening to them. I don't know where you go. I think he's right. Like, you look at the UNLV situation this year with their quarterback, I think that kind of is the bow on what this is. When the UNLV quarterback said, I'm not playing. 3-0, they didn't pay him, found out he was wrong about what the deal or the negotiation was supposed to be anyway. He just decides he doesn't want to play.
That comment from the Virginia coach, Tony Bennett, and I did not see that. However, but I saw this earlier today. I'm going to read it for you. This is Tubby Smith. Remember Tubby Smith, Kentucky head coach?
Tayshaun Prince.
Yep. Here's Tubby Smith's quote recently. We had over 800 Division I players transfer last year. Over 800. Come on. Teaching them how to quit. That's what we're doing. Things not going well. Let's quit. I remember calling my dad when I was a freshman at High Point College. Dad, people not treating me this and that. I'm unhappy here. There wasn't but 2 blacks in the whole school. My dad, he said, son, somebody do something to you? No. You're still getting your scholarship, aren't you? They're still feeding you? They're still housing you? You're still getting your education? I said, yes, sir. He said, you can't come home. Your bed's been taken, but you can join the Army. Best thing he said to me.
Wow.
I tried to leave Michigan after my freshman year. Like, I wasn't getting the ball. Coach Carr, I was playing. Wasn't putting me in for passing
Come
situation.
on, Stan.
I thought it would, and it wasn't even Stan. Like, you know how boys are. We don't run to dad. You know, in times like this, you go to mom. And I went to my mom. I was like, hey, mom, look, it's not working out up there. They don't like me. You know, I had every rhetoric in the book. Coach Carr doesn't like me. He didn't really recruit me. They waited to the 20. Everything that I use now is the motivational piece when I'm talking. I was trying to use as an excuse to leave Michigan. And my mom was like, and go where? Marshall? I didn't even know where Marshall was. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's close. It's Ohio, Michigan. Exactly. I know now. I knew Randy Moss went there. I knew Byron Leftwich went there. So I'm going to Marshall. She was like, leave Michigan. Where your dad went.
All right.
Where your name Edwards is synonymous there. You just want to quit. This was my mom. I had to take my ass back to Ann Arbor.
That's it, mama.
I had to start to listen to Lloyd Carr in a different way, and I had to start to make my grounds. But Ryan, you've been talking about this forever. Like, you've been the one talking about this forever. The quitting. Like, what if Tom Brady? What if this player? What if this player? They don't teach that anymore. Once I heard about this freaking participation awards 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and that was the beginning of it. Now everything is inclusion and participation points. And it's okay. You can leave and go have success over here. That ain't how the real world works.
No doubt.
This is their own fault. It's Pandora's box. It's open, and it is, like Keith Jackson would say, it's gone.
No doubt. Guys, to get back to the NFL, KG had another incredible week.
He's cheating.
No, I'm not.
Incredible.
He's cheating.
I'm right here when you make the picks.
I'm ready to concede.
Oh, my God.
I'm right here when you make the picks.
But first, the message from us here at
Ask him how much
WSN,
money he
Woodward
made,
and
though.
Maine. Start your game day with 8 a.m. to 9. Matt Broder, Terry Foster, insight from Detroit sports leaders. That's right. Woodward in Maine, brought to you by Tangerine, Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Then stick around for the New Holland Pregame Company Lions pregame show. That's right. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, 10 a.m. to noon. Woodward Sports live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. That's this Sunday. Second Best Bar in Detroit. Your #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
And you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We'll be right back, folks.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
All right, it is time to look at some Woodward Sports merch, because you know we got the best merch. Here you go, man. The best merch in the merch game right now. Go to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab, and we got everything you need, man. Pistons, Red Wings, Lions, you name it. Tigers. I know they ain't do so high, but hey, we still support our Tigers, man. We got everything you need right now. Get ready for fall, but only at woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab.
Right now, let me tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. That is the QR code above my head if you want to scan that. Why would you scan it? Because they will allow you the chance to win up to $1,000, bet up to $1,000, excuse me. And if you lose, they'll return that money to you in a bonus bet. This is what Caesar's Book is doing, and that's why they are the sports book of Woodward Sports. But you got to use the code, and the code is Woodward1000. All caps, Woodward1000. You see the plays, you see the parlays we make here, we tell you about. Well, the place we do them is the Caesar, man. So go check it out. Go win some cash.
All right, Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway. We had another great performance by the great KG.
I'm almost ready to concede.
He's cheating.
I've never seen anything quite like the run that KG is on right now.
He's making history.
Too bad nobody's tailing him.
Yeah.
I'm 6 back now.
Maz was. He finally got off my tail, though.
Well, I'm 6 back. I'm still not out of it. Got a long way to go yet.
You out of it.
We got any record standings built or anything like that? Oh, they're coming through the scroll.
See? Nice scroll, Pete.
Good job.
34
anyway,
12.
I'll go over them. Kenny G, 7-0-1.
Really 8-0.
34-12 on the year. I went 4-3-1. I got 28-18. Braylon 4-3-1. He's got 22. Pete 5-2-1, starting to pick it up. He's got 20. Ryan 5-2-1.
How about a 5 and 2
He's
week
got
for the
19.
kid?
There you go.
So there you have it as far as our picks go. You got Monday Night Football tonight, guys. Another glorious doubleheader.
I love the doubleheader, by the way, but I like the 7 o'clock doubleheader.
I despise the doubleheader.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Ravens at the Bucks, and followed by the Chargers at the Cardinals. Both AFC, NFC battles.
I wouldn't be mad if they just had one game at 7.
Yeah.
If the first game started like 7:15, man.
What's this, 8 and 9?
8 and
15 and 9.
8, 15, and 9.
Yes, sir.
The first
7
game,
and 8-15 is good.
the Ravens game is going to be the Joe Buck game, and then the other game will be the who does it again? Kirk Herbstreit with who again? Chris Fowler, right?
Chris
Fowler and
No.
No, I thought it was Al Michael.
It's,
Fowler does it.
Oh, you talking about
Fowler does
Booger
it
and,
with Lou Riddick and and our guy Dan
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky.
Kenny?
Yeah, take it away, man. This is your show.
All right, what game was this again?
What you talking about?
Ravens Bucks.
Ravens Bucks.
Yeah.
All right. What's the spread on that?
3.5. Buccaneers are underdog at home.
Up to 4 now.
Or are they favored?
Right there on the bottom line
No,
there, guys.
Baltimore.
Ravens are minus
Got
3.5,
it.
minus 205, and Bucks plus 170 per Caesars.
Look at Pete.
I'm on this, baby.
Give me the Bucks in that first game. Give me the Bucks. And
You don't sound very confident, Mr. 7-0.
I'm not, man, but I wasn't confident last week either. You saw how that turned out. Let me get the Chargers.
I talked to Jack Harbaugh when Pete and him were whooping it up about Bowling Green, and I asked him, "Hey, what do you think about this Monday night game?" And he kind of gave me some inside info.
What did he say?
Chargers are pretty banged up.
Oh,
Chargers are pretty banged up.
Can I change my pick?
There you go.
The more information you have,
Good job.
KG, more information.
I got to go Bucks and Cardinals myself.
Bucks and Cardinals.
Yep,
Bucks and Cardinals is what it
Taking
is.
both home teams.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This count against the records.
Oh, I got news for you.
No, there's no record.
Oh.
Vita Vea may not be playing tonight.
Oh, okay.
No Vita Vea. I'm taking the Ravens.
Wow, Derrick Henry might go for 150 or plus again.
Yeah.
100%. I'm
Man.
taking Ravens, and I don't even care about the other one. I think Marvin Harrison's out. He's in concussion protocol.
He might be back.
I take the Cardinals. Why not?
See what
Cards.
Kyler Murray does.
Jeez.
That's
I'm
your
tailing
team.
you guys.
That's your team.
Tailing you guys.
Pete, who do you like?
I like the Ravens tonight, and I like the Chargers as well. So give me both road teams tonight to
I
get
got the
victory.
home, you got the road. That's funny. Like none of us could get along, huh?
Go around the NFL, can't
All right,
we?
Pop. Pete, put him up there, buddy.
Running out of steam.
Put him up there.
You got it,
Yes.
buddy. Coming up.
Here we go. Rye, you started off. Go
All
ahead,
right,
buddy.
London game. I wasn't into this London game at all. It did nothing
Horrible.
for me.
I watched the fourth quarter.
I watched the fourth quarter a little bit. And I don't like, first of all, the Jaguars beat the Patriots 32-16. I don't like what it does to my NFL Sunday because then, like, your pregame shows, your normal routine isn't involved.
But do you watch the pregame shows?
I don't.
They're horrible.
But I don't, but like just my process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunday morning is different when there's a Sunday game on.
I feel you, Ryan.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the
You
same.
know what I like to do, man? I like at 12:59. I like to be in front of the TV. I like to be in front of my setup.
Right.
Boom, hit play and start
That's
watching
it.
games. I don't need pregame shows.
I don't
anymore 'cause
want
they stink.
I don't watch a pregame.
Pregame
To your
is-
point, that morning
not a
game,
good
is,
one.
you'll
Yeah,
pop it on because
right.
it's on, and now you're starting to watch football. So then by the time 3 o'clock comes, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been watching since 9 a.m.
The Jags suck, but we play the Jags here in Detroit in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They feel like they're going to be hitting their stride.
I don't know.
I don't know. They suck.
How about the Texans and the Packers? How do they pick a 2-point spread and it hits?
And that's
How?
something.
How?
Vegas
2
is great.
points.
It was 2.5. They
Vegas
switched
is
it.
great.
They
But
robbed
what-
me of my 8-0, and I
But it
didn't
dropped to
appreciate that.
2, Kenny, and it hit 2. How do they do that? 2
I don't
freaking
know, man.
points. Anyway, Packers win, and they're all whites.
They
They look
robbed me.
great. Jets and Steelers last night. Jets had a 15-6 lead. Steelers ran off the next 31 points and beat them.
Yeah,
With Russell Wilson throwing his little pop-ups. The Jets are so freaking bad. Eagles blew out the Giants. Big day for Saquon Barkley.
Knew that was coming.
And Jersey, the fans absolutely gave him the applause he deserved. And how would you like to be John Mara watching that game? When we watched him in Hard Knocks, look at his guy Joe Shane and say, "Are you sure you want to let Saquon go?" He's like, "Yeah, let him go. We can't pay him and Daniel Jones Well, Daniel Jones was benched yesterday, and who's their backup?
This is the
Drew
second-
Lock.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
And
second time this
Saquon
year.
has done it to them again.
This is the second time he's been benched this
Yes.
year.
Yep.
He got benched before the last game, and then he ended up getting hurt, so he had to come in the game, and luckily got a win somehow.
Okay, how about this one? The
Would you
Colts.
hire Bill Belichick if you're the Giants?
I don't think he wants it.
No.
I don't think he wants it. But yeah, hell yeah, I would. Hell
I
yeah.
feel like you need some.
You need a boost.
You need something.
You need
there.
that Parcells boost.
Yeah.
That he gave every team he went to. And if Bill Belichick is feeling it, hell, man, I'd roll out the red carpet for him if I were the
Belichick
Giants.
is done.
End your career at the
And
place
he
you
might
made
be.
your
I'm just
money.
talking
He's
about,
cooked.
like, you just need
He can
some.
do better than Brian Daboll doing.
Well, I do agree with that, but what was the gripe against him at the end of the Patriots? He was running that team into the ground. He's drafting
Because he was
virtual
the general
nobodies.
manager, too. He cannot be the general manager.
And do you think he'll come back
cannot-
without that power?
I do.
You're right, Kenny.
I think so if he wants to coach again.
I do because I think he wants to chase Shula's record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's,
I stand down
why.
that. I stand down.
Also, too,
But Kenny's right on that.
he is, but
100%.
100%. But also, too, it's kind of like Harbaugh. Harbaugh had that reckoning in the last 3 years in which he started listening to the younger players. He started involving in the younger coaching. Bill Belichick, since he's been on the desk and he's done stuff with college and all these other fun things, starting to change his tune a little bit. And I think if he did come back, it'd be. I mean, look, his girlfriend is barely legal enough to drink.
Right.
I'm telling you, he would be a different type of coach coming back this time. if
Kind of
he
a
did.
crappy day in the NFL yesterday,
It was.
though,
Hey,
overall.
listen to this stat.
Yeah.
Colts
Lions,
beat the
Minnesota was it.
Colts
Yeah.
beat the Dolphins 16-10. Are you ready for this? Who's the best receiver, one of the best receivers in football that plays for the Dolphins?
Tariq.
The last 3 weeks, he has had 5 catches. One catch yesterday for 9 yards.
Mike,
throwing him the ball?
McDaniel.
Are you kidding me?
Who's throwing him the ball?
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler Huntley, but who cares? It's Tyreek.
He ain't got a competent quarterback.
Tyler Huntley almost won a playoff game.
He
True.
did win one.
At the end of the
He did
day,
win one.
this system is for Tua Tagovailoa. The system was set up. Mike McDaniel called him as soon as he got off the plane. I mean, as soon as he was on the plane. It's been set up for him. It's the quick release. They know how to scheme to get Tariq open. You change the quarterback, you change the vibe. It's just different.
Hey, Seahawks beat the Falcons yesterday. Kenny was the only one that picked the Seahawks, by the
Yep,
way.
told you.
They let it start to finish. Bengals beat the Browns. Here's the big one. It's 21. What did they win? 21-14 or something like that?
21-14.
21-14.
Bengals.
But the big news, Deshaun Watson ruptures his Achilles.
Crying on the cart.
Crying on the car, and guess what? Getting booed. It was pretty
he got
sad.
booed.
It was sad.
Yeah, Ohio's
And
a
Myles
hell of a
Garrett
place.
spoke up about him, and I'm not going to play to Myles Garrett because
Jameis did, too.
Jameis did. Jameis was a scratch, by the way. He wasn't even the backup.
He dressed though.
He was the third string quarterback. Didn't dress. Did not play. Yeah. And Myles Garrett, he was defending him and trying to tell the fans, don't boo this guy. But the more he talked,
It only made it worse.
it made it worse. He was like, oh, he's a model citizen. I'm like, oh, come on, Myles.
For most of his NFL career.
For most of for his college career and most of his NFL career.
That's what he said?
Yeah, I couldn't play it.
Oh, no.
And I like Myles Garrett. I could not play it because it was embarrassing.
Jameis was great, though. Jameis was like, I was raised in the South, and we lift them people up when they're down. I will never kick a man when he's down.
Jameis is the
And
best. That's your guy.
I just want to say it was wrong for the very passionate fans to boo that man.
It was, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't.
Jameis is going to be
I
in
would-
politics when it's all said and done.
I love Jameis.
Yeah,
Winston.
he's the
you
best.
listen to 2 minutes of Jameis talk about this, you will understand very quickly why I love that man.
Yeah.
I love Jameis Winston. That's my guy.
He
love
would-
him.
He would have been a fun player to have on that quarterback show.
Yeah.
Like when he was still starting. I mean, even as a backup, maybe. Like I think he would be a fun perspective.
That would be a good show.
A backup.
Backup.
Ooh, look at that.
Backup.
There it is. Marketing genius.
Chiefs beat the 49ers. What a lackluster game. The 49ers, they lost Deebo Samuel in the beginning of the game. He was sick. He played like one play. And then Brandon Ayuk blows out his ACL.
It's like,
And, neither quarterback in this game was good. Mahomes even admitted, he even said, I'm a little heavy. He said, I'm a little heavy. He admitted it. They're undefeated. And you know what? They don't show me anything.
8 interceptions, 6 touchdown passes for Patrick Mahomes this year.
there don't seem to be any good teams in the NFL with the exception of 4.
Yes, the 4 I told you about. the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Washington. And then put Kansas City and the Ravens in.
100%.
That's it.
And I wouldn't even put Kansas City in there.
Ravens are going to lose tonight.
I'm joking.
Yep.
So Tampa becomes that 15. But to your point, let's say that there are 5 good teams in the NFL. Everybody else stinks. Everybody else stinks.
Or just not
It's
as
a weird
good.
year.
Even if you got to win the record right now, you stink.
Guys, I got to get one more break in. You got one more NFL point you want to make it all?
I was going to let you know what Hutch said yesterday.
Okay, do that right now.
Would you like it now?
Yes, I would.
Aiden Hutchinson on his own,
Trying to keep us on
Instagram,
time here.
did his thing. Wanted to thank everyone. Here he is.
What's up, y'all? We are 1 week out from surgery. The first days were a little rough, but now we are on the road to recovery and just attacking each day. And I want to thank all the kids who made me the videos. I want to thank all my teammates, all the fans, all the support all over social media. It's been amazing, and I'm doing great. Just pushing through. Got to see the Lions win today. It's a big win. So happy for them. And we're going to keep pushing and just keep taking this thing day by day.
Great videos of the Hutchinson family. That's a real together family. And if anyone could come back and be as strong as he was prior, I believe on this kid.
I wonder who he's picking this week between Michigan and Michigan State.
Nah, he's a Michigan.
Knowing him,
He's a Michigan guy. You know, he can't. He's got to pick a little on each side.
That's a long old year one
It'll
situation.
never get old. Like,
Right.
I still cannot believe the answer.
I live in the
game.
state of Michigan.
Not making a pick.
I'm just here for a good game.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. World Series is set. We'll do that next. But first, a message from the postgame, us here at WSN.
That's right. It's the New Holland Brewing Company post-game show that is with Stick and Answer. You know where it's at? It's live at the Hayes Social. And the cool thing about this, as soon as the game's over, you can dive right into the content. You can comment in the group chat, or you can even call in. They will answer your call, and they will get you a part of the show. Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Soroki's, as well as Taller. These are the people that sponsor this amazing show. If you can make it, it's at Hayes Social and it's out there. Oh my God, it is so much fun. They tell it like it is, though. You got to be ready for the conversation. The post-game show with Stick and Answer.
And you know what we like to do once the Lions win, right? We like to crack that good Blanco, man. 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. choice. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey guys, right now more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com. And if you want to know where the best Lions pregame party is going to be on Sunday, October 27th, it's going to be at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street, for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at the Second Best Bar. Come get some.
And I want to tell you about KDK Law, dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code right now on the screen or call 248-971-0476. 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back. Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Amani, Braylon Edwards. I wanted to get to a little bit of baseball. I will tell you, once the Tigers lost to the Guardians, I feel like they ripped my heart out a little bit, and I have not been fully paying attention to a lot of this baseball stuff. I watch leisurely now instead of watching intently like it had been almost every game of the postseason.
Yankees-Cleveland was a great series.
Up until the championship series. I watched a couple of games of the Yankees and Cleveland. And here we go. Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series. Bray, everybody gets what they wanted.
58 versus 54. Shohei Ohtani versus Aaron Judge. It's going to be, obviously, each of those teams have a bunch of other stars, but that's what baseball is all about. This is what sports is about. You want, when it all comes down to it, the two most popular players are the two biggest players in the game to be playing against each other. It was the old LeBron and, Kobe that everybody wanted to see and didn't get that chance because LeBron lost to Dwight Howard. But I'm excited, man. You got Soto. You got my boy Giancarlo Stanton finally getting an opportunity to thrive in the playoffs. So
MVP of the series.
100%. 16. This is his first World Series appearance with Giancarlo Stanton in the 16-year career, or 16 postseason.
He's rolling. Soto with the 3-run homer to win it for him in the 10th the other night. It was a fantastic game, fantastic series. They knocked off Cleveland and who's their big guy coming out of the
Emmanuel
bullpen? They clocked him. The Tigers wore him out, and the Yankees finished them off. And that's just the way it goes. This will be the 12th time the Yankees and Dodgers meet in the World Series.
First time.
Do you remember the last one?
78?
No, 81. And who was
81.
there? Me.
You. $5.
That was my game.
That's the story.
That was the game. That was my $5 game.
Monday night or...
Who won that World Series?
The Dodgers. In 6 games. That was a strike-shortened year.
Is that Dodgers first one?
Yeah, it had to be.
As a manager, it's his first one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Dodgers have only beaten the Yankees 3 times out of those 11 times. So we'll see how this series goes. This is like a dead-even series. It looks like the Dodgers are really rolling. The Mets ran out of gas. The Yankees are okay. Their pitching staff's okay. You get Garrett Cole to start the first game. You got to win that game. Dodgers have home field. It's going to be tough. If the Yankees could take one, they might be able to steal this series.
You think this is a long series?
I think it goes minimum 6.
Really?
Yeah, minimum 6.
Let me ask you a question. Like, the Yankees win it all. Like, what type of World Series win is this for the New York Yankees? Like,
That's great because they haven't been there in 15 years.
Because it just seems like it
first World Series in 15 years?
15 years. It's the longest streak since Babe Ruth broke their streak the last time.
Wow.
That's how long it took them to get to the World Series back then. And it's the longest streak since the Babe Ruth days that they haven't gone back to the World Series. And the Dodgers, let's face it, they've been born for this since 2020, when they put all that money in and they won the COVID World Series.
And kept putting money in.
And they keep putting money in.
They
dwarf the Yankees, basically, in payroll. Don't look at the numbers that they show you. Look at all the numbers they don't show you, because everything to Shohei is later and down the line. Everything has been put, what's the word I'm looking for?
Front-loaded, backloaded?
It's all backloaded. It's all backloaded. They're like $1 billion team.
It's unbelievable. And,
Amazing.
3 of the 4 teams 1, 2, and 3 highest payrolls were in the league championship series. So all this mess about analytics and this, that, and the other thing. Can you hit the ball out of the ballpark?
Pay the
or
best
not?
players.
And that's what it is.
Soto's going to get a contract like Shohei.
$600 million.
Yeah, and deserving so. He's just a freak, man. He's a freak, phenomenal
monster.
player, 100%. Getting back to NFL real quick. Remember I told you that something about the Texans. I can't put my finger on it. Like, just don't.
But it's a 2-point game
CJ
against the
Stroud
Packers.
CJ Stroud had 86 yards passing, man.
Packers.
86 yards in the NFL, I don't care who you're playing. 86 is 86. It's
Under.
not good. Something is awry in Houston.
I know you want to wrap it up, Ryan. It's late. But I watched the WNBA last night.
You did?
I forced myself to watch the fourth quarter because I wanted to see if the New York Liberty could finally win.
What?
They're an
No
original.
Caitlin Clark playing?
They're an original team. 28 years in the league. They've never won. And they won, but it was some of the ugliest basketball I've ever seen in my entire. I couldn't wait till it was over.
Maz,
and then it went to overtime. I'm like, oh my God!
They cheated.
Overtime.
They cheated for the Liberty to go to overtime. That was a BS call.
Maz,
They shouldn't went to overtime.
One thing about that is, they came out and said that the WNBA lost $40 million this year.
Oh God!
And so the tweet was, the WNBA loses $40 million. I can't imagine why. And it shows this clip.
The layups, the bricks.
It shows this clip of a dribbling down the middle, and the girl hit the top of the backboard, didn't hit the rim, rebound out to a wide open three, and the ball went over the net.
Oh,
It was like over. So 2 shots didn't even hit the rim.
God.
It was 2 air balls.
Sabrina Ionescu, whatever the hell her name is, 1 for 18 last night. They can't make layups. Layups are horrible. It's bad basketball.
I can't imagine
but Caitlin
why.
will come save him, though.
Caitlin's the best women's basketball player.
Only reason to watch.
And it's not even close.
Only reason to watch.
She's the only one ever scoring ever in the WNBA.
Oh my God.
The announcer is like, man, bonus basketball. I'm like, bonus? This is torture.
Oh my
Caitlin
God.
should be the
Congrats
whole
to the
team.
Liberty.
Just name her Caitlin.
Congrats to the Liberty.
The Indiana
my
Caitlin.
gosh. Oh, don't be a hater,
And she can
KG.
take on
Don't-
all
I got
five.
too much respect for you to be a hater.
She can take
please,
on all
don't be a
5 people
hater.
for a deal, so I'm
God
saying.
bless you,
hater.
please.
You
Oh
know,
my
you know
God.
sports too well to be
Yes.
a hater.
Please don't
Brianna
be-
Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu paved the way for
Oh my
Caitlin
God.
Clark for you to
Paved
be
the way?
for you
She
to be.
couldn't pave anything.
All right, you guys
All right,
carrying this
guys.
off the
All right.
Brandon's out of here.
Yo, we'll have more about Michigan State this week. Big game coming
do we
up for
got
them.
to?
Maybe not the country, but it's still a big interstate rivalry.
Hold
We'll
on.
talk more
By
about
the way, that was the first.
Tom, you in
We're
Minnesota.
losing.
Hold on. That was the
listeners.
first
Let it
basketball
go.
win in New
We're
York.
losing listeners.
The first basketball win in New York since Dr. J and the Nets in 1976.
Wow, how about that?
How about that? In the ABA.
Now you got Carl Anthony Towns to help.
Go Knicks.
right.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
They
Sorry,
gonna
Bray.
fold.
Knicks tomorrow.
Peace. No,
and the
we'll see you
season open tomorrow?
They gonna
Season
fold.
opens
Knicks
tomorrow.